Well, welcome back to Devotions. It's great to be able to spend this little bit of time together taking these five medicines, these five doses. You know, you can't, all of the things that are in the scriptures that are there advising us, they're there because they understand us. It's like your doctor knowing exactly how a medication will both combat sickness and strengthen your body. You see, the things that are written for us in scripture to give us peace, they are the recommended doses that every person needs to apply in their own life. I can't do it for you. But if we go through these things and we do them together, disciplined in a really active way, we will see their effects on our peace of mind and our restfulness of spirit. So we've already talked about how important it is to meditate on what's good. That's something we should do every day. Every time our thoughts go zip off in a bad direction, grab hold of them and force them onto what is good, true, noble, and right. Then also we talked about how important it is to minimize. Wow, look, we've got all these things. They feel threatening to us when they go. But if we just let them go and put our trust in God, the peace of God just comes in behind us. Today I want to talk about managing your expectations. Now, a lot of people think, how do you manage your expectations? And is that a biblical thing? Well, I think again and again in Scripture, God is actually giving us the real truth about how difficult things are going to be. But we, using our imaginations, we kind of concoct an alternate reality. And when that reality is threatened, we end up losing our peace. But we always had our peace in the wrong thing. So today I want to talk about how important it is for us really to manage our expectations. You know, I was listening again to a leadership book, and he talked about a story I'd heard before. It was about a guy who was a former Army pilot in the Vietnam War, and he ended up in a prisoner of war camp. And his name was Stockdale. And so this person writing a leadership book called it the Stockdale Principle, because this pilot, and probably a senior ranking person in the prison camp, noticed that the people who had this expectation that they were about to be released, it'll happen by Christmas, it'll happen by next month, it'll happen by this, that the people who had this false expectation of getting out were actually the ones who struggled the most. They had this imagination that things were going to get better, and they thought that that would cheer them up. Oh, it's only going to last a week, a month, a year. Oh, it's going to be fine. And what Captain Stockdale noticed was that the people who accepted the brutal facts and went, I could be here for years. I don't know how things are going at home. I don't know how my body's going to hold up. When they accepted the brutal facts, that they were more likely to survive what they were experiencing. And I think at times like this, and at times in our lives, we can concoct a false reality about, if I get this job, things will get better. It's only going to, this pandemic is only going to last a couple of more months. This is going to come true very soon. I'm going to get this opportunity. Those kind of false expectations that we think are managing our peace actually just set us up for bigger failures later on. I want to read you this story from Daniel in chapter 3. Now, these three Jewish boys are being forced to worship a false idol, but they won't do it. So King Nebuchadnezzar sets this idol up, and then he threatens them, and he says this in verse 15. Daniel 3:15. Now, if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the trigon, the harp, the bagpipe, and every kind of music, fall down and worship the image that I've made. Well and good. But if you do not worship, you shall immediately be cast into the burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you out of my hands? Well, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to him, O King Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If this be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand. But if not, be it known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. Now, these three guys, they're being threatened with something. And they could have said, no, God's going to protect us all the time in every situation, and we'll never die. But they don't. They say, we're trusting that God's going to deliver us, but even if he doesn't, we're still not going to follow you, and we're not going to do what you've got to say. See, that's a condition of recognizing the situation that they're in and putting their confidence in God. It's actually managed expectations. They don't say, well, only if God delivers us will we trust in him. They say, we're going to trust in him no matter what happens. And that's a very important thing for us to recognize, that our trust is not based in a God who rescues us every time. Our trust is based on a God who, even if things go badly, he's there with us. Even if we die, he resurrects us from the dead. See, our confidence is trusting in that God is bigger than the things that we imagine are going to rescue us. And we put our hopes in him. Have your expectations, imaginations kind of got out of control? It might lead you to a place of anxiety. Manage those expectations, put them in God, and you'll find that there's a real peace as you recognize that even in the toughest things, God is there. So God be with you today as you think about these things.